Hi, we are Two Baddies, One Mic.
And today
We have the marvelous, the gorgeous entrepreneur, CEO,
Hey.
lady with the money.
Hey.
Our guest.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Victoria, and I am a serial entrepreneur. And I currently run a brand called Titi. Titi, you get it? Yes. So I'm happy to have you both. We've worked with these wonderful ladies, and today we just want to talk everything boobs,
Everything titties.
everything titties.
the moment I saw the name Titi, because it's like Titi, you're like, hey, Karine, Mart. But it's so funny, it's so on the nose,
Yeah.
like branding on
Yeah.
point. How do you come up with these? Because this is now your first brand that is
Yes.
like, so you're like, how did no one think of this? You have so many other, as you said, you're a serial entrepreneur. You have so many other brands, but all of them, the naming just sounds so perfect. Vespa, it's like, yes, I do want my V to have a spa day.
for my vagina.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Thou Tree, you're like, of course, it's a shoe. It's 1,000 shillings. The names are so on spot. How do you come up with these brilliant bars on the names?
So when you're naming a business, it has to be as obvious as possible. So it has to. Gina too should sell the brand, and I feel you don't need to have those luxurious names. You know,
Complicated.
flamboyant, what. Before we all know it is what, you have to explain to us the name is what sells the product and the business. So it has to be as obvious as possible. So Titi, everybody, they know it has to be Titi. It cannot
Yeah.
be selling clothes.
Yes.
Yes. Or
And
hair.
even the logo itself is like
Yes.
very
Yes.
obviously in your face. These are titties.
Yes.
So I am obviously going to buy a titty
Yeah.
product. I love it.
Exactly. And obviously we need to know the origin story of Titi because there were so many other businesses before you landed on this.
Yes.
So how did you start it? Why did you feel the need to have a Kenyan brand that is all about the titties? And how has the reception been so far?
So clearly, I've always been a big boob girl. I've always had. That is how I've been turning heads. So you know we have been suffering. But getting a good bra has been quite expensive. So it is either Mtush or you go to other brands that are quite expensive. So I could not afford the expensive ones at that time. But when I started affording, I asked myself, how many people can afford these bras? You know, they are going for 7,000. So I had to find a way to find the cheapest way. How at least can I be able to cut the price? I was definitely afraid of failure, and that is very interesting considering I have already built successful businesses. But you have to have that emotion.
Yes.
And I didn't have a supplier. So when I got the first stock, I kept it in the house like for a whole year because I was feeling I'm not ready.
You
not
are
ready.
gatekeeping our titties.
Yes, and I was feeling I didn't want to start and live in the middle. I
Yeah.
didn't want to underdeliver.
Yeah.
So I just waited. I said, you know what? You have the name, you have the product, and there's the demand. And immediately I did do my first posts. There was, when are you guys opening? When are you guys opening? When are you guys opening? And that's when we opened our first shop in Gigiri. So a very tiny shop. So I have one rule as an entrepreneur. You have to let the business grow itself.
True.
So I didn't need a big shop. Did I have the capital? Yes. So I looked for a tiny shop that the rent was around 15,000 because TT is a business that you need to be there to measure grass. Yes. So I got a tiny shop. We started, but the tiny shop was overwhelmed. So there was a lot of clientele coming in. And so that's when we started opening our branches, which we went to HH. And now the Imara one, that's inside Vespa. And now we have the truck that moves around.
I mean, when you said the prices of bras, and I was like, immediately in my mind, I'm trying to remember every single time I had gone to buy bras before I came to TT. Like in your mind, you had to purpose that sitatoka hapo kama sijalipa anything less than 30K. For how many bras?
Yes.
For like 2 or 3 bras. And the more good looking it is, the more detail it has. Like those choker, you know, you guys have so many of those. The ones with the choker, a little bit of design, something. Those ones cost even 8K, 9K, 10K for one bra. And it's not like you're going to wear one bra for 7 months. You know, at some point it will start loosening up. You need to get, so every time you need to go buy bras, you would have to budget, first of all, because ninaenda hapo na pesa ngapi, ninaenda kununua ngapi, and then there's a lot of shame with also the fact that, ooh, imagine I'm going all this way just to buy 2 bras. How will they look at me? You know, will they judge me? How will I feel? But with the same budget that I would spend, so you end up buying fewer bras, which is not a good thing. Your back is changing, your body is changing over the year. You are also gaining weight, losing weight, like your body changes throughout the year in so many different ways. So you need to keep updating these bras. Sasa umevaa bra moja mwaka mzima, tunaingia mwaka ya pili mpaka imechange color. Hii ilikuwa pink, inaanza kukaa fuchsia.
Can I confess something? There used to be a time where I only had one
Black
very
bra.
good bra. And then sasa kwingine, so unaiva to back to back because who gonna check you? Who'll check your bra?
Nobody.
So now one day, I think at the end of the day, I just removed it, put it in the laundry basket, went about my life. The next day, nikienda kazi, we have this running joke in our house. I hope our household does not see this, where even my partner says, msichana kama kuna talent ako nayo nikweka vitu kwa maji. She will wash everything unless you like specifically tell her not to wash. She will just put it in the water. Ako na hiyo tu talent ya kuosha. Thank God, but still it's a curse. So now I know my bra is waiting for me. I even have the dress. Nikaingia bedroom, nimetoka bafu, naona laundry basket iko empty. That should be a good thing. But immediately nikasikia tu kijasho. I'm like, my God, nitavaa nini leo? Ni cancel ama niende. Sasa mimi nakimbia laundry area kumtafuta. Umeingiza kwa maji. Nasema, madam nishaingiza. So I can imagine that struggle for a lot of people where you only have that one dependent bra. Nile sikutosha ni kama kesho siendi pahali. Na kama kuna baridi kama yenye tumetoka, you just know.
Or you're going to toy, as you said, and because that's another very affordable option for a lot of people, myself included, back in the day. Yani unanunua bra inakaa kwa mgongo hapa chini.
Ukivaa shati light, you can see your
right huko juu.
Alafu ndio mwana kwambia inatoshea.
Hiyo time but on the dressing you up huko. You're very confident with your 300 unajua hii ni investment. So uko huko tu unajaribu sana nikuteremsha. But you guys have so many interesting options, and I love that you try as much as you can, that even if someone hasn't come to your shop ever, this is your first time arriving at TITII, the first thing you ask them is, do you know your size? And if they look even a little wishy-washy, unawaambia kuja, panda hapa juu, msichana panda juu tukusaidie, and you start by measuring. But sasa hii kwa measuring surely, how do you know your size? For most people, it feels like
95% of people don't know their size. Everybody says they are a DDD.
Double D.
Yes. And sizes, interesting enough, there are over 180 sizes of bra. Yes, there are so many.
Okay.
So and they go up to even N.
What? What do you mean N?
And yes. You rack up?
I'm currently at double G. I think ni double G.
Umekaribia K?
Nimekaribia hata H. Kuna yenye nilienda nikapimwa. Nikaambiwa H.
K. Uko G.
Niko G.
Oh, mimi nafikiria J. And me am a HH.
Okay.
Yes. Wow.
I miss those days.
titties.
Yes, so we measure your band size.
Okay, so upper chini.
Yes, and your bust size naked. Okay?
Don't be shy.
And then the difference is your cup size. So if the difference is 1, it's an A. If the difference is 2, it's a B. Like that.
Okay.
Okay?
We will lie that we have understood.
Most African women, they definitely have a difference of more than 4. hata mwenye anakaa kona boob kidogo, the difference between here and here is usually over 4. So most African women are D and above. Hata wenye unafikiria ni C ni D, because the difference is 4. From 4 is D, and that's where our brand ranges from D upwards. Yes, it's very difficult to find. Unajua, like white people, you'll find somebody's big but
they have small
yes,
titties.
yes. But as you just find here and then big. Yes, so that's how we measure the size.
Okay.
The second thing, we ensure this
part right
The
here.
gap.
Yes, it has to
Sit on
yes, it has to sit there.
Mine is sat.
You see?
Mine is sat.
So it has to start. You also, I keep having problems with my team because they tell me like my I don't know how to arrange my boobs. But this is because that's also
you have
under
to collect them
yes,
from
you have to
over
collect
here.
them, yes.
And the bottom as well?
Yes, the bottom, and then this kachuma should not lie on any tissue.
Yes.
So it should be just behind, just a little bit next to your armpit.
Okay.
So ikilalia tissue, then it's the wrong size.
Okay.
So that's how you know the correct size. This haifai kufika huku.
Haifai kuwa inafaa
Haya.
kuwa wapi?
Yes, alafu this kachuma here.
The one for adjusting.
Yes, it should not go beyond your shoulder.
Okay. Natafuta yangu iko wapi?
So let's go through it. Measuring a bra is the difference between here and here. Naked. If it's 1 is A, 2 is B. So if the difference is 4, you are like, if it's here is 38, here is 38. Oh, sorry, here is 34 and here 38. You do 38 minus 34. That's 4. So you are you are a 34 D. Yes, because the difference is 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Yes, this should always lie here.
You should always have
Unaweza fanya close up shot.
a very
Naomba.
distinct
Naomba
gap. Yangu ijalai
close
sana.
up shot.
Fanya na ya huyu.
yes, a very distinct gap. Oh,
Sorry, your microphone.
sorry. Okay, receive.
So you see how it's laying on top of her chest. Like it's
Yes.
not on her boob. It's not on her boob tissue.
Yes.
Iko kwa kifua,
Yes.
kifua.
Yes.
Okay, that's number 3.
Usini-threaten na
Yes.
hii useme, I will expose you.
Umeshaji-expose.
Nishaji-expose. They looked good.
Yes, and then there's a chuma that's usually here. It should also not lay on a breast tissue. It should be just behind the breast tissue.
So
Again,
ndio unavuruta
yes,
hivi,
unavuruta hivi,
unagawa,
unapanga nyonyo.
unapanga.
Yes, and then this I can't remember its name. It should never go beyond the shoulder. Yes, that's how a correct bra size fits.
Na hapa tumesahau.
Huku
Kuna
kupanga.
hapa kwa spillage. Unajua, you can wear a bra. Alafu unaona umekatwa. Unaona imekukata. Unakaa.
Lakini kuna venye sometimes I feel like sometimes
you're
utanga
sitting.
cleavage. Ndai pia kingine kimekufunika huku.
But sasa na ikikukata kabisa sana mpaka
Ikikukata
inakaa ni
so
kama
no.
That's
Na
the
kama
that's the wrong
kameanguka hivi.
cup
Unajua kuna
size.
ile hivi.
Ehe.
Umechua?
So it shouldn't be spilling too much.
Yes.
Yes, you can have cleavage.
yes,
You know, unaweza push mpaka, you know, unashindwa ku
Uko hapa on your neck.
Unaekelea kamago kitu kitaka. Or even your phone if you want to do that.
Do you know I shop like that? Sometimes when you have too many things on your hand, unaekelea tu na unatembea, baadaye utaenda. Jua itaanguka, uko tu sawa. Big titties advantages.
Yeah.
But here is the other question when it comes specifically to like the cost of bras. So we've spoken about how they're very, very expensive at some shops or some brands. And of course, mtu anajiuliza, miss sijaingia your Titi. Range ya bras ni how much? So tumekupatia an example. Normally, before Titi came into the market, ulikuwa unanonga bra mpya, mbichi, fresh.
Yeah.
At
7,000,
7,000 kupanda.
Yeah.
Some even would go up to 12,000 depending on what you're buying. So that is where our frame of reference was.
Yes.
But give us a range of around how much you at Titi charge.
So our bras range from 2,500 to 3,500. And this is the best price I have gotten. I can tell you, I was even telling my brand manager, she had said we should label our bras as premium it's a premium product.
Expensive.
And I said, yes, and I told her no, because that is the correct price range of a bra. A correct bra. That is the correct
So mtu
price.
akikuzia bra 5,000 kuna mahali kidogo anakugonga.
Hata hiyo 3,500 some people feel it's very expensive.
It can be.
But I keep telling that is the correct. If it could have been able to go lower, and these are bras I make from the factory, I could have gone lower than that because I know the struggle. But for sure, that is the correct pricing.
And also, I think when you take away that brand of luxury, this is a luxury product, you're able to get to a lot more people. Because I think a lot of the times, even as Katomi has mentioned, sometimes you're very intimidated about walking into a store because you're thinking, guy, uku iko kwa mall, they'll charge me an arm and a leg. So I think I'm just safer off going to toy. I'm going to the supermarket. Settled because supermarket where they just have a range. You're just over there in the aisles guessing, because obviously you can't try on in the middle of the supermarket. So you taking away that luxury brand and now being able to reach more people. That's really good. But also when you talk about reaching more people, the idea of the mobile truck. You're no longer just centered in Nairobi. That's most businesses. We are found in Nairobi. But now you're going mashinani. You're physically moving and getting to the people everywhere. How did that idea come up? Because it's not, you know, it's not over there a woman in Kisii will get her bra fitted.
I feel because I know the sweetness of a good bra. Hey, confidence.
The confidence.
Raha. You know. Hata inapeanga mtu ka shape, by the way.
Exactly. Like you feel confident. You know when it is over here versus when they're over here.
And we cannot lie that big boobs zinahanga zimesimama kila saa. They
Gravity force. Gravity.
So I felt like every woman deserves that experience. Every woman deserves that experience.
True.
And that's why even when I do the track, I tell people, just come in for a fitting. I just want you to experience a good fitting bra. Just come and experience. Unaona watu wame experience, mimi nasema nitaingia chama. Wengine wanakopa hata saa hiyo. I feel like
you can't once you've tried and you found a bra that fits you nicely. You can't live without it.
When you know a good fitting bra unaweza lala nayo. Like the reason unafika kwa nyumba you are ready to remove the bra ni juu ni mbaya. Ni mbaya kabisa. So I felt like every woman deserves to have that experience.
And how has the reception been? You know, what to get their sizes for the first time?
So at first they're not understanding what's happening. Yes. So it has been
a lot of education.
Yes, a lot of education. I have pushed. Me, kwanza there's a town they went, I was told sales ni how much. I was not sleeping. That day I made like 20 TikToks, even in bed. Hi guys, mujue tuko area. You know, I have done a lot of work. I have done a lot of explaining. And it might take some time before kwanza watu wa mashinani to understand. But those sounds that watu wanaelewa. Yes.
Alafu it's a lot of stigma because like we've spoken about this many times. Female issues are so
they're so shrouded in shame
and shame. Yes, it's true. A lot of things like that. Hata mtu kuambia bwanake nimeenda kununua bra. How even starting that conversation? Because I'm seeing you're going all everywhere. By the way, in case you don't know, Narok, Kisii, Kisumu, Kericho, Kakamega, Eldoret, Nakuru, Naivasha, and Murang'a. These are not places where ata bra unafichiwangwa. Unajua?
Nakwambia that those ladies will tell us, at next time you guys, can you park somewhere people will
cannot see us.
How will you guys find us then?
Exactly. You know, so it becomes very, very, and this is not also like traditional media, especially like radio and stuff. Utaenda useme ati nimekuja doka haha kwaria
kuhusu
sindiria. Actually ukishatoa sindiria anasema huyo ametumwa na shetani. So how are you dealing with that, the fact that it's so difficult to have conversations around female issues, even more about underwear, because this is underwear. Hii ni kitu ya kuficha. How are you finding that and navigating that scene?
Because it's not my first time being doing a business that involves women and shame, like for Vispa now, because I was showing a lot of vulva during as Vispa was starting. I think I got immune to that, and I reached a point we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, women are open to discuss.
Yes.
Women are just afraid of being shamed, number one, by fellow women
Yes.
and men. But you feel like after after we've talked about it, they start warming up.
It demystifies
Yes,
it.
yes. So for the boobs, it wasn't as hard. The only thing I don't like with the boobs is wanaume wamejaa DM ya titi.
Tunauza bra, sio watu, guys.
Mimi nakwambia, if I see somebody on the comment section sema chakula ya mtoto nitapiga mtu. We will find you, tutakuta kwenyu. Chakula ya mtoto imefanya nini?
Wamejaa.
Ni mtoto aje?
Wamejaa. They are there. Sure. Yes, they are camping there. Yes.
So there's a lot of sexualization of that's a big issue. You find that either you're demonized, like
Yes.
Demonized.
Either you're demonized completely or the complete opposite, where you're sexualized completely, and it's made into this thing about like I can't just talk about. Yeah, you're over there showing people, guys, by the way, this is how you get steamed after. This is how someone to prevent ingrown hair. Mtu anasema shukisha kidogo tuone. I'm like, sir, do you know you came out of one of those? Do you know your head popped out maybe through or around the area because we have cesarean sections and stuff like that? As in, do you know that this is not new to you? You lived in someone's vagina for like 9 months. Why are you making it sound like it's new? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so finding those open spaces where you find a difference between and men, as you're sexualizing people on her in the DMs, why not also buy one for your partner?
Please.
Hiyo ndio tunaulizanga. Todo imekaa vizuri. Umeona sisi ni twins, me and Shuri. We are matching with green
Titties.
By the way, you know how much? Ilikuwa sponsored, but ni how much? It was around 3,500.
Yes.
Yeah, for these beautiful ones. Yes. Ukitaka kuona mwenzako anakaa na shine, unamnunulia.
Yeah.
So let's start from there. Buy onanga zake kwanza. As you're coming to talk about others, kuja ununue yake, and you've been told the prices are very affordable.
Yes.
2K kupanda, that's very, very affordable.
Yeah.
This December, badala ya kufikiria kununua mbuzi,
Sidiria.
chukua nunua sindiria kadhaa. You know what I mean?
I think even that shame, I don't know if it's shame or normalization of our underwear or undergarments should not be pretty. Because I remember there's a time, just hanging out with my mom to Kosoko, and she said, wacha nijinunulie tu underwear, because saa zingine hata naweza watafutia. Mimi nibaki na mararuko, natembea tu na mararuko. So now I'm like, that demonization or that normalization of
It's
you
okay
should not
to wear
prioritize
tattered.
your underwear, or even when you're going out of your way to like buy something nice, something cute, somebody hits you with like kwani nani anaona? Si mi naona.
And you feel so sexy, just as Victoria said. There's a way you feel when you walk in like new sexy underwear.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you walk in a strut unasikia tu, oh.
Kwanza when you're matching, I don't know why. Anytime you're matching bra and underwear, I'm just like, wow.
There we go.
What? Because imagine now you're walking somewhere, you see your ex. The first hit, okay, for me personally, mimi sikosanangi na my ex. So,
Ni marafiki.
all I'm saying is,
Friends and family.
when I bump into my ex, my first thought is like, is my underwear matching my bra? But that's just me. I don't know about you guys.
Mimi, I usually think about my dress, my choice. Wakinirarulia nguo, they will be very
Guys.
surprised. There, I'm looking sexy on the because you will always
Umematch.
find that anyway, match vibaya sana. So every time I'm walking outside, especially like when I know I'm going to like town or anywhere, I try and match as much as I can. It's because I know if I'm outside, na nimevaa nguo fupi, because I'm always wearing short shorts.
Hakuwa smart.
Wakinirarulia ninakaa vizuri sana. Hizo video zikisambaa on the internet, wanasema ai na huyu alikuwa amematch.
Yeah.
That's my motivation.
Do you know something
It's got
interesting? I am an ugly and
panties,
How do I
yes.
wear them ugly? As long as ni comfortable.
Granny panties.
Mother's Union.
Woi. Hizo nazitoanga na siri.
But yeah, that was something else that you did mention, because I asked you that question, I remember, of why focusing on just bras and not like the full bra
Set.
and bottom, the set. And you gave me a very interesting perspective, which I'm curious that would you share with the people?
The bra range is very huge. So right now I'm even able to stock like 2 or 3 designs. I don't have t-shirt bras yet. I don't have a sports bra yet. It's a very huge range. Again, 180 sizes. So nikaona there's no speed for the panties. When the time comes, and also I feel like nimesema I like wearing them ugly.
Yes.
I don't have a passion yet for
Class, anywhere. Ukiingia supermarket utachukua ka 120.
Sisikii bado inanisumbua kama something important. The market is yet to be tapped when it comes to bras. It's yet, and then I am looking also to see if can we go lower in terms of prices. So it's for the business model I have. That is a conversation I can be able to have for panties probably after 5 years because I have not yet satisfied the market the way I want.
And sorry, speaking of business models, obviously there's a vision you have now, but was it really the vision you had maybe 10 years ago? Because sometimes the vision changes. You start out doing something and you're so passionate about it, and then ukiangalia sa in hindsight usema I was so silly. What was I doing? So has this always been the vision for you, or did the serial entrepreneur come up because there were other things you were dabbling in and specializing in?
So Victoria as an entrepreneur is a very, how can I say this? I'm a very random person when it comes to business. And I feel things keep changing. And they change every single time. You keep thinking, Ama, this is the correct way to do things. You know, you don't have a perfect way. And I've never even had a business plan because it does not make sense in my head that you're supposed to have a certain
rigidness.
Yes. I've always been open-minded. What I have always been sure is I am not going to be poor.
No.
Biggest motivator. Poverty.
Yes, but also it's usually, by the way, poverty is usually, but my biggest one is I have seen what entrepreneurship has done to other people's lives. I have seen people come to my businesses with a lot of problems. Sasa ukiona watu wangu wanakuanga wameng'ara. Even my girls, they know, nambianga mimi mtu asikai shida na mimi. You cannot represent me like that. You know.
Like
So for me, it has been, my ministry has always to create employment and also to avoid poverty. There are other things you go learning on the way. And that's why when I'm having a discussion with anyone who starts a business, I tell them, you can never learn enough. You can never prepare enough in terms of business. Anything comes up. So you've gotten your product, you just start selling. In fact, the number one factor the business is doing well, and now you need now to deal with other things, is sales.
That's true.
Sales are king.
That's true.
I keep saying, wewe kwanza uza. Make sure the first thing is you can sell your first 2, 3, 4. After that, you can go figuring out things on the way. True. Yes. When you go to your second or third business, you've already learned a few things. So the reason Titi got the momentum faster is I'm very experienced now. I'm able to be, and even if I ever open another business, the struggles are not the
Very
same.
much faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the truth is, you cannot be rigid. You have to go. You have to be open.
Flow, yes, adapt as quickly as possible.
And knowing failure is a must.
Yeah, for sure.
Hapo kuanguka inakuanga kawaida.
And you can't be nonchalant as a business owner.
Hey, girl.
Lazima ufanye TikTok dances. The one they don't prepare you for in entrepreneurship is you're going to do that TikTok.
Yes.
You're going to call your soldier and tell him kuja tukatike. Utaambia mtu wa delivery. You saw Benja with Karaoke Cosmetics. Kujeni tufanye dance, tufanye sales.
Kwanza saa hii, si kama when we
Were
are
you
starting
prepared
out.
for that?
No, but I have now seen even a lot of rich people. You know, I see a business person like Emma, the one for schemes with Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
She has now started building her personal brand.
There's no stigma attached to.
Kwanza now she has, I feel like she has money. If she stopped working,
she's okay.
She'll be okay.
But unaona bado ana build personal brand yake. So my fear was the mnaitangaje hii kitu. Mnaitangaje ya nini? Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And also I didn't want pressure.
There's a lot. And there's a lot. Instead of now dealing with the business, you're dealing with comment section.
Yes.
Look, what
I didn't want pressure, and I also was afraid of, because I've also seen business people even in the Kenya industry wameacha sasa kazi, wameanza kuwa influencers. So I didn't want to go that route. So because that is not my goal. I struggled with that, but I had to do a lot of inner work and also really identify what I really want. Yes.
And especially considering, first of all, she's gorgeous as hell. Have you seen this woman? She's a
Gorge.
baddie.
As in?
She's a baddie. Body T, face card never declined, hair on point, makeup lookity lucky, scrumdily yum yum. Okay, so it's not like a difficult thing for you to then just rely, because I've seen a lot of people who say that if you're pretty and if you're gorgeous, you don't even just put yourself on anything. I think we were even discussing this like a few days ago. We were like, just slap your face on anything, you know, and it will work itself out. And there's a lot of stigma that is attached, or a lot of judgment that is attached to beautiful women and their ability to deliver. So was that something that you struggled with as Victoria? Because you're like, okay, I need to prove that I am an entrepreneur. I can do this. I am smart, and I don't fully rely on my beauty. How did you find that balance, if you did? How are you dealing with it?
I told myself, nobody's going to box me. You are not going to box me. I am not going to have conversations, because if you go to my Instagram, I usually do random videos and I will do them at an alliance za wig na nini. Nilijiambia, you guys are not going to box me.
Absolutely.
And each time I look at very successful people, especially even men, because I feel sometimes I like just looking at what men do. If I look at something like The Diary of a CEO, I realized he's always in a black t-shirt. Because I think there's a time he had that conversation and he said people will start looking at other things. Yes.
And be distracted from the main mission.
Yes, and sometimes I want to have a conversation. Because there was a time I was doing a video in my car and then the logo of my car showed and I was like, I can't.
You can't post it.
Because sitaki maswali, sitaki story, because that is not the important thing. So I told myself, people will not box me. Ile siku nataka kuonekana nikiwa smart, nitaonekana nikiwa smart. Ile siku sitaki kuonekana nikiwa smart, sitaonekana. I need you to just pick my brain and have conversation about business. Everything else
it can come after.
I know I don't want.
You don't want?
Sitaki.
Okay. Anything else? It begins and ends with biashara. Which is so difficult as well, because as we said, gorgeous looking women step into rooms mostly filled with men, right? So now it's like you almost have to, in your mind, remember that, I am a woman. They will not treat me a particular way. Otherwise, when you just come in heavy, you see the conversation is being diverted and you're like, wait, what is happening? And then you're like, okay. How often does that happen to you, and how do you deal with it? Because all these places, the higher you go, the fewer women you encounter. The more men you are finding in these rooms. They're the ones you're trying to convince to give you funding or whatever. How are you dealing with that?
I feel that is still a challenge for me, because you'll just be having a conversation that makes a lot of sense with someone. Unasikia, unakuanga na mtu.
Tuone kahawa.
There we go.
I like guy.
Can we continue with this conversation? I'm flying to XYZ. To patane next week. So how are you even trying to maneuver? Because it's difficult,
I think I just avoid those men.
But still, for how long?
I feel like I'm still struggling.
I think you can't avoid. And I saw there's a lady who was talking about it and saying, you're going to encounter these men, so go for that lunch, but pick what you need to pick. At the same time, it feels like such a slippery slope. If I start accepting lunch offers, coffee dates, what I'm thinking putting out is not what they're interpreting.
No.
They're saying, she's agreed to have coffee, so she must have some interest.
Kusema
ukweli.
You must speak the brand all the time. Nikitoka natoka nimevaa Titi. This is my brand.
Exactly.
Lakini he's seeing something. And it's such a difficult
separating those two
maneuver, especially as a young girl. You're going to encounter these people.
To be honest, I'm still struggling.
You're still struggling.
I have not hacked that, but I feel like I have not reached a point I really need to ask a man
for anything. And that's the tea.
Ile ya nimefika nikamwambia hii biashara usiponisaidia haitaingiana.
And that is the tea.
Yes, I don't think I have gotten to that position. I don't think I've gotten to a place I've been vulnerable. I've had to pretend. So probably I thank God for that also. But also I've been able to also build very nice male friendships. I have, yes, when tumefikishana a certain place.
There's mutual respect.
Na napenda hawanioni hivyo. Na kama wananiona hivyo
shida yao. Ni mabro hayo. But also now let's bring it back to women, because this is a conversation about baddies and how we're maneuvering. I've seen a lot of people, and I think Turi mentioned this when you came in earlier. She said she is very proud and she feels very, confident in the fact that when you see a successful, beautiful woman, hawananga story mingi na wewe. It's just not vibes. Will feel intimidating to them. So how are you also dealing with spaces, female spaces, and dealing with other women around you? And how do you even get to the point where you are now, where you make people feel comfortable? Because oftentimes, if you hang out with some nani wengi, unaingia unasikia tu mtu, there's something wrong. There's something about me that's rubbing them off the wrong way. So it becomes almost competitive and very uncomfortable. And we promise you, we've had to leave events because of exactly that. Like this person is saying, come, let's collaborate. Come, let's do this together. Ukifika, you're like, wait, hii ndio collaboration tulikuwa tunafanya. Because you're being treated so poorly.
Body on body crime.
Thank you. Baddies on baddies crimes are so many. So how have you then found your balance such that your value is not intimidated, shaken, or dictated by who is around you? You just exude that naturally, and you don't make women feel uncomfortable because you do it so well. You're just such a nice person, and not in like I'll take advantage of. You're nice, but on a boundaries. So how do you find that balance?
I feel like reminding people they can also always make it. Even in conversation too, I'll just mention, it's easy, it's not as difficult. But also rubbing people wrongly is beyond me. They have a lot of healing to do by themselves. And that I may have been in those positions where I'm wondering who ananibokwa nini. Na realize kumbe ni juu. Ni wewe. She's speaking out something I can't do. So that one is usually beyond me. I can only do too much. I can only just be humble enough, but pia sitajifinyilia sasa. Unajua? I'll still behave the right way na sitajifinyilia. But that one you can't do anything. Mwenye nataka kurabika tu atarabika.
Ukweli.
Yes, but also I was sharing with my friend the other day, I've realized making new friends right now is a bit difficult.
Girl.
And I was telling her, my mind was having a hard time comprehending that, by the way, adult friendships are usually, people have calculated. So mtu ameniangalia hivi,
akasema
huyu yes. And I could not get that in my mind. But then I realized I am no longer in class 4.
Manasikia?
I am no longer in class 4, by the way. I am no longer. So hata mimi nikiona there's something I'm gaining from her, situfanye maneno.
Unajua tukiwaambia mnaonangani kama we are hating. And I don't know why. Anytime we have these conversations like, girls, pick your battles, be smart, have perception. Like, jua nini you're getting. Usikishinda ukisema ati walinitumia,
time. Does it not? It takes a long time.
Because if you have always been a genuine person, my mind could not. It felt wrong. It felt wrong that yani wako nani like that. I cried. I'm like, cry. My mind, unajua, because you're now, una reprogram your mind.
Like, how is this happening right now?
You mean that atamani genuine? But I realize by the way I'm no longer in class 4. Yes. Self friendship that calculated nini. And then now the more now I expose myself, the more I realize, by the way, the more calculations zitakuwa zinaingia. But kwani mimi ni mjinga sijui kupiga hesabu.
Exactly.
Hata mimi can calculate.
Girl,
you
and
know.
it just happenstance. So if you happen to find now genuine people, then that's
the
amazing.
whole point.
Yeah.
If you meet somebody, and it's very possible, there are still genuine people out there, but you should know a good number. But also I feel like we cannot say some people are not genuine. So I'm thinking, if I look at you and I think, you know what, I like Faith. She has a good personality, but she will help me be on the media more. So I befriend you, you know? We are adults. Relationships zetu hazitakuwa na connection.
Exactly.
You will feel it.
I won't absolutely say you're my best friend.
Itafika ati sasa we are in love, we've liked each other. So
you're not even spending that much time.
yes,
The conversations begin and end
and
with
friendships are adults.
na nilikuwa nataka nini? Let me call Faith. So you can really start to feel it as well.
Yes.
All you need to also, I feel like people need to be mindful of energy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like you will tell. It's so easy to tell, especially in the spaces that we're in, media and business, and when they overlap especially, because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Victoria only calls you when she wants X. I only call her when I need X.
Yes.
Unajua
That does
hapo,
not make you a fake
we are
friend.
not fake
Because
friends.
Faith, and also Faith can decide, can I be her friend?
Yes.
And nisaidie here and here. Faith, that is not fakeness.
na ni moja mbili. Unajua, utajua. Bei ya tatu, utajua.
And
Surely.
most of the time, if you start in a very sober space, you can build now a genuine friendship from there.
Yes, absolutely. And it's okay to just accept things as they are. Sometimes not everyone is meant to be your friend, darlings. You know, even this podcast, the way it happened was just random. We were just tulikuwa tu stories za jaba hapo kidogo kidogo. Tukasema na tulete history.
Hii conversation imebamba.
Inafaa kuwa recorded.
Y'all should be a part of this.
So I think it's one of those things where in every industry you will find different women who become friends, others just acquaintances, and figuring those spaces out. Huyu ni colleague, huyu ni acquaintance, huyu ni best friend, huyu ni close friend, you know? So you're not calling to tell them, ebu, nitumie pesa za harambe, unapata zimeandikwa. Sikuliona what nani alifanyiwa. Y'all saw?
Unaomba mtu pesa na
Unaomba
unapenda kwa
mtu pesa,
WhatsApp.
anatuma screenshot.
Angalieni vile alikuwa that was not your
What's
friend.
her name, that girl? I forget. And then imagine, those are not your friends. Clearly, someone who can take a screenshot of you when you're going through a rough, vulnerable time. But even you, did you not calculate backwards? Jupia wewe, mbona haukufikiria backwards? So always try and read people's energy. Read the people that you're in the room with. And it's difficult when you start from a very genuine person. When you just start as innocently, me, I just like to make friends. You know, by the time unafika kwa hii lesson yenye tunakwambia umegongwa, kuumia umeumia.
Umeweka ma-quotes kwa Instagram.
Fake friends. Guy, there's a girl I know who's only ever having conversations with close friends. Like I never see her public stuff on you'll only see it on close friends. So in my mind I'm like, first of all, how am I here? You know, like how am I close friends translate to Apple. But also, the tea. It's like so much tea.
Very nice.
But it's because umekuwa kwa close friends. Utulie. Wambie tu roho horera. Let's talk about it. But back to business and managing and maneuvering. You've spoken about something which I found very inspiring. Umesema that for people who come to work with you or work for you, and any business, by the way, especially if it's a service industry, just know your biggest hassle, other than capital, will be client. It will be your personnel. What wanafanya kazi na wewe. My friend, that is the hardest thing to do. First of all, finding good personnel and then keeping and retaining them. Because kani mzuri mwingine atamuona tu. Hivyo hivyo venye ulimuona mwingine atamuona. But you've said something that I found really inspiring, which is like, you try and change the lives of these people in the way that they think. Not necessarily bribing them to stay. You just tell them, hey, look, you work in the service industry. You know you're supposed to be dressed like this. You know you're supposed to represent my brand like this, and so on and so forth. Was that something that happened to you at some point where someone led you that way? Or is that, again, because of the experience that you've had over time that you've realized that this is very, very pertinent and you need it to be like almost the standard operating procedure?
I think that just goes down to who I am as a person, which is, I don't want to be unfair, you know. That just goes down there. So I'm the one who deserves to be making the money only and looking good, where there are a bunch of people who are making the money. So I feel it just came from who I am as a person. Sitaki kuona tu kama umeparara.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. And my retainership is, I'm very good at retaining the people in my team. And because I feel like I'm just going to treat them as human beings. They are paid fairly, they are treated fairly, they are not micromanaged like children, such things. So it just started from there, me who I am as a person. Yes.
But have you found that then people take advantage of you? Because oftentimes when you mimi ninakwambia kuna biashara tumefunga juzi. Ukiachilia tu mtu afanye Kenya anajisikia. You find that people tend to do a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, people tend.
And you're like, do you not understand this is for your benefit?
You get disappointed. But I have one quote and I say it all the time. An employee is like a boyfriend. You can always find another one. Tutafanya hivyo mpaka nipate love of my life. So it is fire and you know, and usually get very good people who can also see your vision. Yes.
Okay. And now speaking about failing businesses, I know you had touched on this yesterday on your Instagram stories. And also we had the viral story going around about Carrie Priscilla and her addressing her staff together with all of us, which I found very weird because if you're going to shut down a business, even if you had done everything right, you first talk to the people who are directly affected before you let everybody know that this is what is happening, these are the struggles we go through. But as all of these things are happening, and it's very discouraging, very disheartening, you feel like, guys, sasa ni tunafanya. How do you now bounce back? How do you pivot and say, aya, this has not worked, what next? Because sometimes you get stuck on this did not work, so obviously
improve.
Sina nyota ya entrepreneurship imeishia hapo.
Kila mtu naona kama akona nyota ya entrepreneurship.
Kila mtu Victoria.
Imagine naonanga tu ni kuvumilia tu kidogo. You have to fail so many times for you to succeed. So just look at it as one of the failures. No, you know the worst thing you can be as a person is uanguke na uamue. Hata saa hii ukianguka hapa kwa mtaendelea kulala hapo.
Utakusema, "Oh yeah."
Unaamka mbio.
That's yourself.
Yes, take a break, think. And most of the time, the second time, imagine mtu anakuanga akifanya vizuri. Kwanza ukiketi urealize na uadmit shida ya kwanza ilikuwa wewe. Na mismanage.
I was the drama.
Yes, if you just to say, was I the drama? Yes, I was the drama. You're usually able to lift yourself up fast. But I always say you have to start small. If you have, so if I'm starting a business with 10,000, sini 10,000 nitapoteza. Lakini nikianza biashara na 100,000,
that's a big loss.
Yes. So for me, for example, risking and putting some money on TITII, I had more to lose than when I was starting my business with 5,000 shillings. So most of the time, when you're starting afresh, you hata unanga kitu ya kupoteza. Jua una kitu, but then una really. So so you have to start very small. And I always say on my pages, you have to be very specific. You have to start with very small products. You have to lazima uanze hivyo. Pole. The business has to grow itself. And what makes the failure inaumizanga mtu sana ni kama uliweka pesa mingi mara moja.
Ulikuwa na expectations mingi.
Na ukiweka pesa mingi sana. So uanze tu na 10,000, just buy those 3 clothes, uanze kuuza pole. Wacha uone kazi kidemand. Na with time sasa juu ile lessons zingine ulisomanga including uli-expand haraka, uliteka nini, alafu hiyo pressure ya ulikuwa umekelea pesa mingi, you just sit down ukiona your mistakes, you're able to start again. And most of the time you usually make it. No kianguka tu.
Naamka.
Una alternative.
I can enjoy it. It sounds simple when you say it, but when you're in the ground,
you really go through a lot of emotions. Yes, and like a friend of mine is closing her shop, and I think we've had this discussion about her closing that shop for a whole year. Kila siku tu tukiongea ni hiyo story. But alikuwa ananiambia she has realized the day she decided to let go, hata analala vizuri. So nilikuwa namuuliza, ni nini unashindilia? Kwa nini ndoa ulikuwa unataka kushinde? Umeshikilia. Hey,
fail quickly. I think that's a lesson people need.
You umeteseka
Fail
whole
quickly.
year for no reason.
Lost sleep.
You
If
know.
you're failing, fail quickly.
Kumbia
Fail.
mbio tu.
Pole
Hey,
songa.
unatoka mbio.
Sababu, your emotion. The truth of business, even I would ask you this. Someone, I saw, it was Shiki, someone said that when you start a business, but you're starting a business and you're never there, you created a job.
Yes.
You did not start a
Yes,
business.
yeah.
Unless you were physically there. And
You're
if it
hands-on.
fails and you are working hard at it every
Yes,
day and
yes,
you're learning new
yes,
lessons,
yes.
then is when you can say I'm an entrepreneur. But otherwise, you created a job.
Yes.
Something you did not take part in. But businesses, ultimately, everyone starts a business to do what? To make
Yes.
money.
Make the money.
So if there's no money being made, it's okay to admit it. Maliza hii,
Yeah,
anzia ingine, ama relax kwanza.
Yes.
I think.
But I feel when you go back to the drawing table,
Yeah.
sometimes the low sales are usually because of you not making enough effort. And I keep telling somebody, you have to have a very honest conversation with yourself. Unajua zashinda ukisema kazi iko down, but ukiketi hivi uangalie tu hivi uone, you know what, una realizing you are the one who's not making the effort.
You are truly the drama.
Yes, you are the drama. And the other day I was telling my friend, keep making effort. Things might not fall in place as fast as you want, but they do fall into place. Nazanga tu pole. And she was telling me the low sales are demotivating her. So her, she does not have motivation.
go.
Sasa mtashinanga mkizunguka ni low sales, wewe ukose motivation. Low sales.
That's true.
There's no
There's
solution.
also a part
Just
that
You don't
complaining
have
about the
motivation.
same
So if you
thing.
don't have motivation, you don't have sales. If you don't have sales, you don't have motivation. Sasa mnafanya kazi gani sasa? You know.
But also, like, I think what I've noticed, especially when it comes to spaces, like, I completely understand where she's coming from. But I think it's also a passion thing, right? Like, you're not passionate enough about this one thing.
Yeah,
Like, the reason why
yeah.
you started this thing,
Yeah.
ni juu either ulisikia ama mtu alikwambia,
Yeah.
like, you're not, this is not a thing that you're very passionate about. So when you don't have enough passion, it's very difficult
And I
to
think,
motivate yourself.
And
Inakuwa
I
ngumu.
mentioned that yesterday. It's also okay to let go of a business
It's
because
okay.
of lack of passion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ukisikia inakubo,
Wachana
ni
nayo.
sawa tu achane nayo. Utafute ingine yenye itakubamba.
Because you'll never find time for something you don't care about.
Yeah.
So now, as we are winding up, you have really positioned yourself where you're offering solutions to everything that a female needs.
Yeah.
Like, you're a female entrepreneur
Yes.
addressing female needs, from vajacials, from waxing and all these feminine things. Like, aki watu wako na wax. Ilikuwa tu kareza, mnatembea mkifanya hivi CBD.
Na ma-ingrowns huko.
ma-ingrown.
Unakaa tu
Yeah.
black.
But now, ever since you started, like, businesses, especially, created for women versus now, how has that reception been? And if you would go back in time, would you do things
What would you
differently?
do different?
First, let me say I love women. Hey, what was smart.
Watu wameng'ara.
Unajua sasa hivi natembea kwa barabara naangalia wanaume najiambia aki hawa watu akiwa nafanananga aje. Aki I
Unaganga
feel
tu
like
fwa.
women like they say God must have been
God must
be a woman
at least.
because I feel like women are so beautiful, they are so smart, they are so talented, they are everything. And I can't see myself hata nikiuzia wanaume anything. Sionangi by them. Sionangi. I'm like, I'm such a girl's girl.
Yeah.
I just want to see women looking good, thriving and everything. The space for women is very big. Yes. And as much as the space for women, even for anyone who wants to start a business, I keep saying concentrate na wanawake. They're even good buyers. Wananunuanga vitu. So I would not change that. I love it there. Even I keep assuming my personal social media ni ladies peke yao. Kusema, hi ladies, na huwa nikijambia, I hope hata hakuna mwanaume anayefuata. I hope ni ladies.
Why you here?
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Joroge. And I think another bit that we spoke to in passing very quickly. You had another passion project which we in brevity we spoke about, which is like catering to young girls, because a lot of young women, as you're coming up,
Yes.
you find it difficult to. It's, as we said, it's difficult a conversation to have, even with your mother. Not every
Yes,
mom
yes.
is going to shops and buying you a bra.
Yes.
Not every dad is going shops and buying you underwear. So it becomes very difficult. It's just it's a shame. So you mentioned that in passing, another project that you may be thinking about is finding more affordable
Yes.
braziers and options for teenagers and young girls coming
Yes,
up, because they're very affected.
Yes.
Is that something that you're truly looking into,
I am working. So there's something we are working on for the young girls. Really pushing for the prices to be as low as possible because now you understand the issue.
Buying power.
Yes. I hope in future we can even get sponsors who we can be delivering to young girls in other places. We hope to get there. It might be a business, but again, it's also a ministry.
It could be.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yes. And also something, kuna tu raha ya kuchange to life. You know.
Especially at such a young age when they don't even know, is this even worthy of being in a bra, but at the same time,
well, you're
without
walking
a bra,
like this. Me, I used to walk with my...
Na venye bra
uko na two stones.
to dots.
naunga mtu akigongo.
It was so painful, guys.
No. Actually, there's a lot of stuff.
And can we mention that people without big boobs, I feel they keep saying, aki nataka kuwa na boobs kubwa. And then I remember, unajua wanakonga ameona za nini, za zile za kuekwa.
Yes.
Naambia, you know, really big boobs, they
don't look like that.
And they have different personalities.
They don't. I promise you, if we all undressed and looked at us, we all have such different...
One is longer than the other. Yes, length. One is over here, the other one is over here.
Nipples on the side. Mwingine aliamua zitakuwa separated. Ukilala, we are cohesive. Girl, don't use artificial additions as your
inspiration to what real
they don't look like that, baby.
Yeah.
They don't all look like that.
Yeah.
And then as time goes by, pia gravity inakwambia, hi baby girl, come through. So yeah. You were saying something. I'm going to the point.
But it's a parting shot because if we were given the opportunity, this would be like a
2 hours. 2 hours.
Hour plus episode. But what would you like to say to somebody who's watching you right now and hoping to be inspired by Victoria?
Guys, that's it.
Usicomplicate. What is this? Is there something you want to tell the ladies? Ivo too. Usicomplicate. Something you really wanted to tell women.
Okay, sana kaniseme nini.
Kitu yenye inakuja kwa roho. What you feel inspired by Vic?
Okay, first let me say you are smarter than you think. You are smarter than you think as a woman. Na number 2, achana na vitu zingine si za muhimu. The most important thing is yourself and yourself and yourself only, and showing up for yourself. Last and not least, every morning wake up with one goal to show up for yourself. Even in business, each day unajiambia, how can I show up for myself? Things was na work out. Yes.
I love that. What watanunua wapi? The bras, tupatie socials. Tutanunua wapi tukitaka kununua.
So first of all, I'm trying to build my personal brand.
Okay, yes.
You follow me on Instagram, Victoria, 2_MG.
Victoria MG.
Yes, Victoria MG. Follow us on Instagram also, TITII _KE, Vispa Kenya, and Thou_3KE.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe on serial entrepreneur. Like those are 3 businesses.
Yeah.
Thou3, they sell shoes for 1,000 shillings and under.
No.
Over.
Yes.
What does Thou3 do?
So Thou3, we are selling affordable shoes for women, trying to make them as comfortable as possible and for the best price as possible. And then TITII, of course, bras. And then Vispa, we concentrate on the vulva, either spa for the vulva. We do waxing and something called a vajacial, which is like a facial, but for the vulva. Yes.
And you started now introducing also facial
yes,
products.
Yes,
like...
and massages and Moroccan bath. We have started introducing other services.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all things woman. All things woman.
Solution over
Victoria _MG.
Yes.
Utapata to all the information there. But we will tag her. We will add everything that you need to add. And if you want to see her on the show again, please let us know. We would love to have Victoria here again. Ukiwa na maswali, uliza hapo chini. Tutampatia maswali zote akujibu. But for now, it's been such
Thank
a
you guys for
wonderful
having
me.
privilege.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming on
you.
the show.
Like, you're
Thank
such
you
beautiful
so much.
girls. No one on a TikTok. Nasema,
You too. I'm telling you, this was the hotbed of hot women. We love it. Thank you so much, Victoria.
Thank you for having me.
So tuambie watu kwa heri.
Bye.
And the question we ask you at the end of every episode. Did you like that? Because we showed our titties, so you better like it. Did you like that? Bye.